Hello folks, this is Mike, PC31 the Vinyl Policeman. This video is in response to a thread by Chris Propfe, he that is musically obsessed. Chris actually comes up with some fantastic ideas for threads, and this is another one. Chris wants us to show 5 creepy album covers, and I see a lot of folks in the community have already done it. I'm going to try not to repeat any which have already been shown. So well, the music in the background is this Mortar Coil, It'll End in Tears. Fantastic cover, actually, brilliant album, just in the background. My first one is a bootleg from a Peter Gabriel bootleg that I've had for ever, since Keith Richards was a lad. Peter Gabriel, Submerge, really creepy album cover. Fantastic double album though. It's from recorded in 1977, the Roxy Theatre in LA, and 1978 from the Bottom Line in New York. And it's kind of mostly tracks from Gabriel 1, but also from Scratch, the second album's represented there as well. And you've got some interesting ones like All Day and All the Night, Ray Davis, Kinks, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from The Wonderful Lamb, Here Comes the Flood, brilliant track. Salisbury Hills, the first Gabriel solo single. But it's a good one actually, Robert Fripp's on this one. But I'm showing it because of that, the cover, double album, Submerge, Peter Gabriel. The second one is Mick Jagger, and it's Mick's second album, 1987. Jeff Beck was the guitarist on this one, and look at the cover on that one. I've got Shrink actually on it still as well, but it's a pretty scary cover, that one. Interesting enough, I think this was just after the Stones had released Dirty Work and Keith wanted to tour it, but Mick wanted to concentrate on his second solo album. So there's a couple of tracks which Mick wrote about Keith, Kowtow and Shoot Off Your Mouth, and then Keith reciprocated with his next solo album. But this is about the cover, Primitive Call from 1987, Mick Jagger. I've shown this next one before, but as soon as I saw this thread, I thought I've got to show this one because it just fits perfect. And it's a really spooky cover which has always freaked me out, and it's the Witch Trials, band called the Witch Trials, and this is from 1981. It's a one-off collaboration between Jello Biafra of the Dead Kennedys, Morgan Fisher of Mott the Hoople, and but my main interest and the reason why I bought this is because I'm a big fan of Adrian Borland of the Sound, and he's on this one. It's an EP. Interesting enough, Jello Biafra at the time said, The Witch Trials is the most evil record I've ever been associated with. And the music on this is as spooky as the cover. It's pretty creepy, but it's this one-off collaboration EP from The Witch Trials, 1981. My next one features Mick again, actually. And it's from 1973, Goat's Head Soup. And I know the original cover of course, where David Bailey, photographer, had Mick trying to emulate Katharine Hepburn in the Africa Queen. And you got a great picture of the Keith on the back with a black veil. But I don't think Mick particularly wanted to do this, but the Stones did it, and this is right in smack bang the middle of the glam rock period. But the poster which came with that release in 1973 was that one. And I think this was the album cover that was released in Spain. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I seem to remember that somewhere. But this was re-released a few years back, and it was remixed by Giles Martin, brilliant Giles Martin. And a few classic tracks, new tracks on this were released. Scarlet, Crisscross. Crisscross was the one with Jimmy Page, or was it Scarlet? Can't remember now, but they're fantastic, really good. My favourite track from this has always been Hide Your Love. I think that's a great track. But for me, this whole period, the Jimmy Miller period of the Stones, those 5 albums from 68 through to 73, me personally, I think it is the best period of the Stones. But the cover, this video is all about the cover, and that is a pretty hideous cover, Goat's Head Soup. Some say it's because they recorded it in Jamaica, and that's a dish in Jamaica, not with the goat's head and the horns, but a goat's head soup is a dish there, but it's an absolutely disgusting cover. There we are. My fifth and final one, I was going to show in the Court of the Kings and in the Court of the Crimson King, because that cover's always freaked me out, but I didn't want to upset Mike from Vinyl Tracks, Deep Vinyl Tracks, so I haven't shown that one. But I'm showing instead the brilliant David Bowie, this hideous cover that came out with Toy. I've got the box set, the 10 inches, where this is tracks from 64 through to 71 that he re-recorded with the Heathen touring band, Gowland, Dorsey, Earl Slick, etc. And it's fantastic actually. It's a really good album, but that cover is just Bowie's face as a child, but then manipulated. I mean, it's absolutely hideous cover. But there we are. That's my fifth and final one for Chris. So Chris, Musically Obsessed, Propfe, and I'll leave the link in the bottom. So look forward to seeing others. Thanks, folks.